What's up, guys? It's Rahul, and welcome back to the Chaos Gym. With me today, it's me and Franco. What's up, Franco?
How's it going, everyone?
So today, there was some big news dropped on the Pokemon world. The news that we've been waiting for all, I guess, in this little stopgap we've had between Nationals and Worlds, is the Regionals info for next year. The Regionals, the invites, and the Intercontinental Championship schedule.
Yeah.
And we got all of that in one fell swoop on one day, which is pretty cool. So we're going to talk about that, I guess, in some detail.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start with regionals, obviously, because that's the big one. Everyone wants to know when the regionals are. So the biggest change to this year's regional structure is that there's a lot more expanded that we see.
Yeah.
Compared to last year. I think we had, 4 expanded events last year? Toronto, San Jose,
Philadelphia.
and Philadelphia. Yeah, we had 4. We had exactly 4 expanded events, right?
Wasn't Arizona, too?
Oh, yeah, Arizona, 5, whatever.
Yeah.
Arizona didn't count. So we had, 5, and then I think, 9 standard. As opposed to this year, we have, I think, 7, 8. I think 7 expanded standard.
Yeah.
So we kick off and also the most notable thing to note is we kick off regionals with Fort Wayne on September 2nd, which is 2 weekends after Worlds. Worlds is the August 21st weekend, and we go straight to Fort Wayne 2 weeks later.
Yeah. It's pretty nuts.
So there's literally no break. But after that, we get a kind of a month break, and then we go to Hartford, Connecticut, which is standard.
Mm-hmm.
The week after is Daytona, Florida, expanded. Expect to see you guys in Daytona. We'll be there for sure, because it's an hour for each of us. So I'm pretty sure it's a really nice one, too. Beachfront, all that stuff. The week after, Vancouver. I think, Vancouver, which is the exact opposite side of the country. So for you West Coasterners, that's pretty good for you. And Canadians, you guys got your regional back.
Yeah, definitely.
Then we have a weird month break where London takes place in there, but I'll get to that in a second. Then we have San Jose on the regional scale. So there's a month-ish break on Thanksgiving weekend to San Jose. So if you don't have Thanksgiving, you can go to San Jose. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Memphis, middle of the weekend before Christmas. Then the Texas regionals that we had at DFW last year, it's going to be moved instead of New Year's to the last weekend of January. And then we have the Collinsville, St. Louis one again, same place. It was a great one last year. Yeah, it was fantastic last year. I think it's 20 minutes from the airport, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
This is a new one, Costa Mesa. We got instead of Anaheim, so that's pretty cool. And it looks like it's I've never been there, so. And then we got another new one with Charlotte, North Carolina, which is pretty easily accessible at the airport. It looks like we lost. I'll get to the ones we lose in a second.
Yeah.
Oregon, same as usual. Utah, I think was here last year too, Franco?
There was one.
Yeah. Toronto, same place. It looks like. Oh, we're moving to the convention center instead of the hotel, but Toronto still same old. We have that, and then we have Virginia, same place as last year, and Wisconsin. So those are your schedule, I guess, and we're losing Georgia.
Yeah.
We lost Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And what else do we lose?
Where else?
I think that's.
I mean, technically, we're losing Anaheim.
Technically,
yeah.
Yeah. That one's more of a relocation.
And Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, Philadelphia's gone. So the regionals that were objectively run the worst this year lost theirs. So then we move on to, let's talk about the Intercontinental Championships, because those are also the big talking points. And last year we didn't really get any dates early, so it made it really hard to plan international travel. Now, for those of you going for your Worlds invite this year, I'm just going to say it's 400 points. So going for your Worlds invite this year is a lot more feasible than it was in any previous year. So you don't have to travel outside of the country. You don't have to travel to any outside regionals. And you don't have to really do anything. But if you want to go to Intercontinentals, have a good time with your friends out in foreign lands and explore the areas, this is definitely a vacation you should take. And if you are going for those top 16 berths, missing one of these is pretty big.
I agree.
So the first one, similar to last year's, the European Intercontinental, which is in the United Kingdom. I'm just going to assume it's London, November 17th to 19th. So you guys should start planning your trips now. Franco, you can talk to us a little bit about how London was last year.
Oh, London was really fun. I mean, I heard some people didn't like it, and at the same time, I heard some people liked it. But overall, me personally, I liked London. It was really cool. Definitely, it's a country rich with history, and there's a lot of tourism spots. There's the British museums, and overall, if you like to see castles and cool stuff, you can walk around and see. Like, for example, me, after the tournament, me, myself, and Yoneda, Pukuya, and his brother, three of us, we went basically, going around London, we went to the London Museum. We tried different British food and, trying to experience the culture. And yeah, it was really worth it. It was really cool. I would like to go back to London personally again. I had a really good time there with friends. So, and I feel like it's going to be the same with like most of the cases. Even, Rahul, like from us, even from like traveling to different regions, even in regionals for US, it feels different because each state is kind of has its own, like unique cultures and stuff. So if you like to like experience those like cool experience outside of the tournament, it's definitely worth going. Whether, obviously if you're going to go to the tournament, you want to do your best, but even if you don't do, like as much as you expected, at least you have like the tourism side, which you can like learn or experience cool stuff. So I will say it's definitely worth going. Yeah.
Intercontinentals aren't, if you're going for your day one invite and you want to do it easily instead of going to regionals and stuff, you can also just go to Intercontinentals and place decently to get some points. They're down here, the placements. Like 5th through 8th, you get 250 of your invite, which is a lot of the way there. If you get 1st or 2nd, that's your invite right there.
Yeah.
Top 16's 200 points. 17th through 32nd is 160. Top 64 is 130. 128 is 100. So, like, you can get a lot of points just by going to these things. And, like, I believe every single one had top 64 kicker. So, like, in Australia, you could go 5-3-1 and get points, which is not a great record whatsoever comparatively to regionals. So you could go to these and just, if you have the money to spend and you want to just pick up your points quickly and have a vacation at the same time. Granted, this is not a guarantee that you'll get points. This is just kind of like, hey, you can go and do it.
Yeah. But one other thing I've noticed, I'm pretty sure you've noticed too, Rahul, but for example, they bumped up the points for the internationals because I remember top 256, wasn't it used to be like 70 points?
Yes.
So now they're giving out to 80, which they bumped up 10 more. And if I'm not mistaken, I remember in London, we were like few players short to hit top 128 or something like that. We were like 400 and something. But I think they even like improved the kicker as well, if I'm not mistaken.
They gave an overall bump to the season. So again, the world's requirement is 400 CP this year. So 400 under the new structure should be very easy. So if you're gonna go for it, this is the time. If you're like, I've never made worlds before, I want to go make a push, this is the year to make your push. I think this may be one of the arguably easiest years to get your invite, because in 2015, everyone's saying the 2016 year was the easiest because of San Francisco. How it was really easy, you could get your like 290 points out of your 300 off of cities and league challenges effectively. But then again, how many people actually won 4 cities? How many people actually got 6 league challenges? Not that many.
Yeah.
So similarly, you can win 8 league cups this year and get your entire invite, which is 2 per quarter. But I don't know anybody who will actually do that. Granted, this is the year where now there's no best finish limit for regionals either. So you could go to a lot of regionals and rack up a lot of those small points, like 128 points, 64 points, and pull off your invite. You never have to day 2, which if you're going for top 16, I would expect those people you need to be able to perform at the top level at every one of these events. And like one big win now can be nullified by somebody else going to another one and doing, like, you have to be, if you're going for top 16, you have to be prepared to bleed out your wallet this year. But if you aren't and you just want to get your Worlds invite, it's a very simple, and you can do it, simple process where you don't have to go too far to get one. I understand what Pokemon's trying to do by increasing the amount of people day 1 and replacing, I guess, the last chance qualifier that used to exist with players who really want to, if you want to get your invite, you can this year. and that's not discouraging to anybody by saying, hey, you suck if you don't get it. I understand you could have a bad year. Life could get in the way. Things could happen. For example, I honestly thought Franco was not going to get his invite this year because for a majority of the year, he was struggling. But at the end, he made like one of those crazy pushes and ended up getting it.
Yeah.
But like, I still think Franco's like one of the better players I know. So you got to like think about it that like you could have a bad year. Somebody could have like a bad year. Like, for example, even like top players like Frank Diaz this year didn't have a great showing. We didn't see his name everywhere, but he just got his invite and chilled. Like, you can do that. That's acceptable this year. So let's look at what the points look like. So league challenges and cups again share 2 per quarter finish, and the quarter has already begun for those of you who are wondering. So you can go out there and start playing those challenges, those cups right now.
Yeah.
If you're not playing in Worlds, go play in them. If you are playing in Worlds, play in them anyway. You want to get those points for next year. They share 2. League Cups award 50 for first place. So if you win 2, you can get 100. That's a fourth of your invite right there. If you win all 4 quarters, that's your entire invite. If you win all 4 quarters, you're probably playing in a very questionable area, or you have like 25,000 League Cups or something. I don't know. I think we in Florida have like 12, I think. Maybe not too many still.
Yeah, like reasonable amount, I want to say.
We're going to have a lot of competition, though. A lot of players are coming back, and I expect that in your area, too. With 400 points and not having to travel so much, a lot of players who had to take time off the game because of life commitments are going to make their way back.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've already seen a lot of players coming back into the game, and even now that with the announcement, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, like Justin Sanchez is trying to make a comeback.
Jason Klasinski's, I think, is back. I saw him playing league challenges on Hey Fonte.
Yeah.
So a lot of players are coming back, so be ready for that.
Dylan Bryan, maybe.
Maybe. They've already listed the best when the quarters end, which is really nice. The first one will run till the end of October, so that leaves us with roughly 3 months. We've got 3 months to the end of this quarter to fill in your cups. I know a lot of cups haven't been scheduled yet or haven't started yet. They're kind of waiting till after World's End until we hit the new format. But if you have them now, just go and play. The format's pretty defined. The decks from the North American Intercontinental are up on the YouTubes everywhere on the internet. So just grab a list, adapt it to what you think is going to be good, and go in.
Yep.
Second quarter is from November to the end of January. 3-month window exactly. That'll be a perfect window. February through April is the third one, and then May to the end of the tournament season, which I believe will be when the North American Intercontinental was such as this year, so like first weekend of July, last weekend of June type of thing. Yeah,
usually it's around that time of the year.
Right, and so regionals and special events have no best finish limit, and it's unclear whether special events and regionals have the same structure. Franco, looking at the page, do you think special events have the same point structure as regionals?
I'm not.
It just shows them together.
I'm looking up right now.
Yeah, it shows them together, and I don't know if that means.
Yeah. I mean, it's. Yeah, even when I speak with Jose, he told me that it shouldn't be a finish either. So I believe they don't have a finish either.
No, I'm saying they do. They both have no finishes, but I'm saying, based on what the page shows, do you think special events and regionals share the same points? Because they're under the same banner. Because I scrolled up and down, and there is no other thing for special events right now.
I want to say not really for now, because under the point structure it specifically says regional championship points. It doesn't say regional / special event either. So they might, there is a chance that they might announce the point structure for a special event in the future.
Sure, okay. That makes sense. We'll see what happens. I'll ask a clarification question on Hey Fonte or something later and make it clear. But again, regionals, the points got bumped up a lot going lower. So placing lower will give you more points now. Getting top 256 at regionals now gets points.
Yeah.
If there's 800 plus people. Granted, we have yet to have an 800 plus person regionals. Our biggest was like 705, I want to say St. Louis.
Yeah.
So we can expect to hit about 400 at a majority regionals, which gives you 40 points for top 128. With 200 kicker, which almost every regional should be hitting, you get a top 64 bonus, which is 50 points. With 100, you get 60, 40, 8, you get 80, 24, you get 100, yada, yada, yada. Now, this is a huge bump up. 9th through 16th, you used to have 60. 17th to 32, you had 55. And top 64 used to have 44. So everything got bumped up a little bit, which is nice because now we're actually having even numbers that make sense instead of like 32 and like 44. Like, what? I never understood that.
Yeah.
Those numbers made no sense.
Even making top 64 is pretty big because if you top 64 2 regionals, that's 100 points right there.
Yeah, literally. If you top 64 2 regionals, you got that. And then like if you do decently at cups, you've got a majority of the rest of your invite. So just yeah. And like IC points are still pretty high, like I said earlier.
Yeah, you definitely like the points became a lot more accessible this year compared with like any other years.
Yep, there's a lot of points on the table. A lot of people can earn their invites. So if this is something you want to do, if you are trying to get a Worlds invite with the means available to you, you can't travel outside of the state too much. You can't travel outside of the country for ICs. Just go to your local events, go to your cups, do all those, etc. And try to do the best of your ability. Don't discourage yourself because you can get an invite. You could probably start in March without having played a single tournament and still get your invite.
Yeah.
There's a lot of points on the table.
Like, as an example, like, for example, for this season, I started playing heavily starting, like, October, and I was playing, like, a lot of events until, I want to say, December. And then after January, I stopped going to regional because life kind of got on my way. So I didn't came back to the game until March. And then I was able to, like, push through March, going to Mexico regionals and doing cups and stuff, and I was like able to get my invite. So I can see it happening for this year because the points are like more accessible this year compared with this past season.
Right, and 400 is an easier number to hit on top of that. So that everything being said, my qualms are not with the fact that 400 is an easy number to hit. I welcome everybody to Worlds. By the logic of if you are a worse player, you shouldn't be at Worlds. That's not a good enough logic. If you are a worse player and qualify for day 1 of Worlds, logic dictates that you will probably not make it to day 2 of Worlds. So once you're at Worlds, everyone has a fair chance to make it to the second day. So prove yourselves then. It's as simple as that. Yeah. I stick by that belief. So if you make it to Worlds this year, congratulations. You are a Worlds competitor. Don't let that diminish you. Like some years, people accolade is harder than others. For example, this year is considered pretty hard. Back when ELO was a thing, that was considered pretty hard. So, like, no matter what happened, you qualified for Worlds. People can call it an easy Worlds to qualify for, but you qualified. There's a lot of other people that didn't at the end of the day, that won't at the end of the season. But my problem lies with the fact that we no longer have top 64 money at regionals. It is subject to change, but that's being taken away and added to top 32 if you have 200 or more people, which every regionals had this year, so top 32 will guaranteed get money. But there is nothing beyond 200 people, which is strange because that means the same money would go to a 300-person regionals that a 700-person regionals would get, which I don't think is fair. Other than that, I think my other gripe is with the fact that if you're going for top 16 now, it's pretty much a pay-to-win structure because now you have to be like, I have to go to every regionals unless you win 2 or 3, or I have to go to every intercontinentals because those points are so important. So if you're not going for top 16, I suggest once you get your invite, just go to the ones local tournaments to you, or just like go to some for fun. But like, and it's impossible to say I'm going for top 16 right now. As a player who barely missed it this year, I would like to say I'm going for it next year, but until like the first half of the season ends, or like until London ends or something, and if I'm not on the front page of the leaderboards, I've got a lot of catching up to do. Everybody up there is ahead of me, and with no BFLs on regionals, I can't catch up to them realistically. Realistically, they're already ahead of me, and that's as simple as that. If you're behind that curb and you don't win like a regionals or an IC or something, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to aim for top 16, you need to have a solid like money that can back you up for all the travel expenses you're going to do, plus a good performance overall for all the events that you try to attend.
Yeah, and so remember, if you're going for your invite, keep your goals at that small. If you just go for your invite this year, and if something better happens to you, go for it. That's what I did this past year. I was just going for my 500 to get my invite, and things fell in my lap a little harder, and I went for that day 2 invite, and I didn't get it. So monetarily, it was a burden, and it will be to anyone who's not. But getting your invite this year monetarily will not be too big of a burden, because you can just go to your local cups, and for like $10 to $15 or whatever the cup entries are, you'll be fine. So just make sure you know your local metagame. Make sure you know who to counter, what to counter. Make sure you keep practicing, because now cups are more important than ever.
Yeah.
And so, any final thoughts, Franco?
I think pretty much you just summarized it pretty well. I feel the exact same way that you do. But the one thing I will say is at least you try, though. At least you try for your day 2 this year.
Yeah. Should have gone to London, Brazil, or Australia.
It's okay. we don't know what happens in the future. So
exactly. So that being said, that was me and Franco today with you guys. And so if you want, Franco will be probably on doing more stuff later in the future with Japan metagame and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's been kind of quiet. I know Expanded's coming up big now with the next season, and so we actually care about what Japan has, because they've been playing kind of our format for a while. Yeah.
Similar to Expanded, yeah.
Other than that, check out ccgcastle.com and use CCG Team 5 for 5% off your next order. tcevolutions.com if you want those sick aluminum dice. I'm getting the pink ones in the mail, actually. They're actually super cool.
I got the blue ones.
Yeah, Franco's got the blue ones. I was waiting till the new pink ones came out before I got my set for being sponsored.
I mean, they look really cool, though.
Yeah, of course. They all look. The dice look super cool. You can use promo code CCGCastle for free shipping. So, and I think it works everywhere globally. So you can get your shipping. And then check out 60cards.net, where me and Franco both write articles from time to time. So we usually pour our thoughts out on there better than we do in videos. We have the opportunity to talk about our
we can go more into details without making like an hour-long video.
Exactly. So check those out. Get some reads. Franco's done a couple of free ones. I've done a couple of free ones up there. So check them out. And if you like them, subscribe. So and also, if you like this video, subscribe, like, all that yada yada. Thank you for watching with us for a little bit. I know we're still slow on the video content area. I'm mostly waiting on Burning Shadows to drop on PTCGO.
Same.
So once that drops, I can start testing heavily for Worlds. I mean, I've got decks built by the dozen pretty much right now. I'm literally shuffling a water box with a Bridget. I don't even know why. I ordered hundreds and hundreds of sleeves that are all coming in slowly, and I can just build a bunch of decks so I can prepare for Worlds. So
yeah, we're pretty much busy trying to get ready for Worlds within whatever we can right now until the set drops.
Yeah, I will try to vlog at Worlds. I make no promises, of course. I usually try to Snapchat for the most part, which is like a mini vlog. So you guys can add me on Snapchat, the Flee, THEFLEEEE, and I'll it's a little NSFW. So if you have kids, please don't add me there, because it's kind of like us just goofing around and kind of informal stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do our best, and thank you guys so much.
Thank you.